Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Ruling coalition clean sweeps 6 out of 7 provinces in the National Assembly election. Alliance voters crossed the floor in Koshi province. Travelers on the receiving end as construction and expansion of main highway road sections are sluggish. The Narangad-Mugling Road section lacks expected progress. The International Court of Justice expected to rule today on South Africa's request for a provisional measure against Israel over its alleged genocide in Gaza. And Nepal to clash against Afghanistan today in the ICC Under-19 World Cup in South Africa. Match scheduled to kick off at 1:45 p.m. Nepal time. Nepal must win to progress to the Super Sixes. The ruling coalition has swept 6 of the 7 provinces in the National Assembly election held yesterday. Main opposition CPN-UML won 1 seat in Koshi province. The result in Koshi province went in favor of CPN-UML after voters from the alliance crossed the floor. CPN-UML pick Rukmini Koirala was elected from the province, defeating alliance candidate Champadevi Karki from CPN Maoist Center. Nepali Congress's Krishna Prasad Sitola won from the others cluster, defeating Rashtriya Prajantra Party candidate Uddhav Paudel. CPN-UML had stood in the election from the province with the support from Rashtriya Prajantra Party. Likewise, in Madhya province, Ananda Dhungana from Nepali Congress and Pooja Chaudhary from Janata Samajwadi Party emerged victorious. In Bagmati province, all seats were won by the ruling alliance. The winners include Jeetjung Basnet and Bishnudevi Purasaini from Nepali Congress, Sri Krishna Prasad Adhikari from CPN Maoist Center, and Ghanshyam Rijal from CPN Unified Socialist. Elsewhere in Gandaki province, alliance pick Kiran Babu Shrestha and Padam Pariyar from Nepali Congress and Manrupa Sharma from CPN Maoist Center won the election. In Lumini province, Jaku Prasad Subedi from Maoist Center and Vishnu Devi Sapkota from Nepali Congress won the race. Likewise, in Karnali province, Krishna Bahadur Rokaya from Nepali Congress, Savitri Malla from CPN Unified Socialist, and Vishnu Bahadur Vishwakarma from CPN Maoist Center emerged victorious. Elsewhere in Sudur Pashchim province, Naran Datta Bhatta and Baldev Bohra from Nepali Congress and Renu Chand from CPN Maoist Center won the polls. Voting took place from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. yesterday in the capitals of all the provinces. 51 candidates were in the fray for the 19 posts. With the results, CPN Maoist Center has emerged the largest party in the National Assembly. 10 of the winners are from Nepali Congress, 5 from CPN Maoist Center, 2 from CPN Unified Socialist, and 1 each from Janata Samajwadi Party and CPN-UML. This result has also changed, to some extent, the party-wise equation at the National Assembly. There are 10 lawmakers of Nepali Congress at the upper house at the moment, the tenure of 4 of whom is ending this March. Once yesterday's 10 winners assume their position at the National Assembly, Nepali Congress will have 16 lawmakers. CPN Maoist Center currently has 15 members at the National Assembly, of whom 3 are retiring in March. The addition of 5 members from the party who won yesterday will take the number of members from CPN Maoist Center to 17. CPN-UML at present has 18 members, 8 of whom are retiring. With just 1 seat won in yesterday's election after the retirement of the members, the party will have just 10 members. Likewise, CPN Unified Socialist has 8 members at the National Assembly at present, 2 of whom will retire in March. Janata Samajwadi Party's 1 member will also retire during the same time. The number of members from the party will remain at 1 after yesterday's result. Main opposition CPN-UML managed to snatch away votes from the ruling alliance in Koshi province. Despite being at a deficit of 832 vote weight, CPN-UML's Rukmini Koirala won by 94 votes. 17 voters, including 3 provincial assembly members, had voted in favor of Koirala to give the result. CPN Maoist Center cadres say Nepali Congress betrayed them, while some have suspected voters from CPN Unified Socialist crossed the floor. Likewise, 2 provincial assembly members and 4 local representatives from the coalition have also voted in favor of Rashtriya Prajantra Party pick in the others cluster. The scenario of floor crossing in the province has hinted towards lack of trust within the alliance. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What do you think of the floor crossing within the ruling alliance during the National Assembly election? Your options are A, hint of a falling alliance, B, factionalism within Nepali Congress, and C, normal during elections. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding their expectations from the newly elected members of the National Assembly. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
विकास अनुमानदेखि संविधान सभामा केही संशोधनहरू छ त्यसको सम्बन्धमा चाहिँ हामी अपेक्षा राखेछु
नेपाल सरकारलाई संसदलाई समयमा उचित सर सल्लाह दियोस् भन्ने अपेक्षा राखेको छु
विगतमा जुन राष्ट्रसभा सदस्यहरू थिए त्यो भन्दा राम्रो सल्लाह सुझाव दियोस्
मैले महिला बालबालिका तथा युवाहरूको लागि व्यावहारिक कानुनहरूको अपेक्षा गरेको
कानुन बनाएर बाटो खुलाइदिनुहुन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ म आशा गर्न चाहन्छु
शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य लगायत विकास भ्रष्टाचार बन्दमा उहाँहरूको टेवा पुगोस्
सरकारलाई घचघचाउने काममा लाग्नु पर्यो
संविधानको जुन चाहिँ उद्देश्यले मर्म छ जुन उद्देश्य छ मर्म छ त्यसको त्यो अनुसार काम गर्दै भए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
Many highway road sections in the country that have traffic pressure are recently under construction or being expanded. Due to the sluggish progress in the construction and expansion of these roads by contractors, travelers are bearing the brunt. Saying that the construction works at the Narangad-Mugling road section have not picked up pace, traffic has been halted during the afternoons. The Narangad-Mugling road section, which is considered the lifeline to the federal capital Kathmandu, has been halted for traffic from time to time, due to which travelers are facing hardship. The Dhading road section along the Prithvi highway that connects Kathmandu with touristic city Pokhara with the Mugling Pokhara and the Narangad-Butwal road section along the east-west highway are also being expanded and upgraded. Travelers are compelled to take risky journeys as there are several potholes along the under-construction roads. They are also facing difficulty as they have to stop at many places due to the ongoing constructions. More than 13,000 vehicles travel daily on the Prithvi Highway, which is the main highway that connects the federal capital Kathmandu. It is important for the government to expedite construction and expansion works of the roads to minimize accidents and facilitate the travel of the passengers traveling along these roads. 600 billion rupees have remained unused at banks as businesspersons have not acquired loans. The Nepal Rashtra Bank has reserved 80 billion rupees by paying interest to other banks. Meanwhile, banks have deposited around 20 billion rupees at the Nepal Rashtra Bank without interest. Banks have been making calls for reduction of interest on loans to expand loan acquisition. However, traders have been busy paying previous loans. Banking and financial institutions had recorded loan investment of 490 billion rupees by the end of the previous fiscal year. The Nepal Rashtra Bank had a target of increasing loan investment by 11.5% this year. This means that additional 564 billion rupees must be issued in loans. However, liquidity in the market hints towards difficulty in attaining the target. Only 2 billion rupees in loans have been issued within 6 months. Due to this, the demand of goods and services in the market have also not increased. The central bank had a target of maintaining interbank rate at 3%. However, it has reduced to 2.87%. The Nepal Rashtra Bank had withdrawn 400 billion rupees from banking system in order to prevent decrease in interest on saving and credit. The bank has spent 350 million rupees only to manage excess liquidity. Although interest on loans have reduced and is projected to further decrease in the future, investors have been hesitating to take loans. Meanwhile, demand for goods and services have not increased in the market amid the government's failure in increasing development expenditure. The lack of market demand has also been attributed to the trend of youths going abroad seeking employment opportunities and better education. This has added pressure on the government to increase development expenditure and to create an investment-friendly environment. It's time now for the international updates. The International Court of Justice is expected to rule on South Africa's request for provisional measure against Israel over its alleged genocide in Gaza today. The top UN court could order Israel to halt its offensive against the Palestinian territory. The session of the International Court of Justice today is part of a case brought by South Africa alleging that Israel is committing genocide. Both countries testified when the case opened 2 weeks ago. Israel has vehemently rejected the allegation. A ruling against Israel is not enforceable by the court, but would be potentially significant. According to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza, more than 25,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed and tens of thousands injured since Israel began its offensive, triggered by an unprecedented attack on Israel by the group. The Hamas attack on 7th of October killed around 1,300 people, mainly civilians. The attackers also took around 250 people back to Gaza as hostages. South Africa, which strongly supports the Palestinians, asked the court to issue 9 provisional measures, including a halt to military activity by Israel, while it considers the accusation of genocide. A ruling on the latter is not expected for a long time, possibly years. Israel reacted with outrage to the genocide allegation, accusing South Africa of distorting the truth. Qatar's foreign ministry spokesperson Majed Al-Ansari said in a press briefing yesterday that mediation efforts on ending the war in the Gaza Strip are ongoing. Separately, he added that escalation in the Red Sea represented a big danger, speaking a day after U.S. and British forces carried out fresh strikes against Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthi fighters who have disrupted global shipping in protest over Israel's bombardment of Gaza. Meanwhile, Qatar has rebuked Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after he allegedly criticized the Gulf country's role as a mediator in the Gaza war as problematic in a leaked recording. At a meeting this week with the families of captives being held in Gaza, Netanyahu blamed Qatar for financing Hamas and said he was upset at a decision by the United States to extend the presence of a military base in the Gulf state. The Gulf state remains involved in talks aimed at securing a new deal for the release of roughly 130 captives still being held by Hamas and other Palestinian armed groups. Al-Ansari said Netanyahu's leaked comments were detrimental to those efforts. Talks over a territorial dispute pitting Venezuela against Guyana yielded commitments yesterday to avoid violence for threats after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro revived claims over an oil-rich region on their shared border. The dispute centers on Essequibo, a 160,000 square kilometer region that is mostly thick jungle, but also where in recent years massive amounts of oil and gas have been found. The top diplomats from both South American nations held talks hosted by Brazil, pledging to use diplomacy to settle differences. Essequibo is generally recognized as part of Guyana, but in recent years, Venezuela has reasserted its claim to the territory and its adjacent offshore areas where several dozen major oil discoveries have been notched since 2015. Guyanese Foreign Minister Hugh Todd expressed confidence that the next meeting will bring real advances. He added his nation was committed to allowing the International Court of Justice to offer a solution on the dispute. The court ruled in December that Venezuela refrained from taking any action that alters the situation on the ground in Essequibo. It's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal are up against Afghanistan today in their last match under the ICC Under-19 World Cup in South Africa. The match at Buffalo Park, East London is scheduled to kick off at 1:45 p.m. Nepal time. Nepal and Afghanistan, that are in Group D, have both lost their first 2 matches. Nepal had faced a 64-run defeat at the hands of New Zealand in their first match and then a 5-wicket defeat against Pakistan. Afghanistan lost to Pakistan by a huge margin of 181 runs in their first match and to New Zealand by 1 wicket. However, a win today will take either of the teams to the Super Sixes. The losing team will play in the playoff for 13th to 16th position. The Nepal squad, led by Dev Khanal, have the aim of at least reaching the Super Sixes. Arjun Kumal, who scored 90 runs against New Zealand, is in good form. Skipper Dev Khanal had good starts in both the matches but couldn't play big innings. All-rounder Gulshan Jha's performance at the Under-19 World Cup has also been disappointing so far. Meanwhile, Subhash Bhandari has exhibited some all-round performance. Akash Chand also claimed 3 wickets in the match against Pakistan. If Nepal improve on the mistakes from the past matches and defeat Afghanistan today, they will book a spot in the Super Sixes. In other matches scheduled for today, Bangladesh will face USA in Group A, while England are up against West Indies in a Group B encounter. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.